Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 26 of Mistconceptions. I'm your host, David White. And today we have a little bit of a special episode for you, especially at the end of this episode. We are going to be doing our first Geeking Out during the credits. This is a cinematic move that was released in the core rules, and we haven't done it yet, but it is a cool, neat way for characters to level up while the players kind of reflect on their actions and what they did in a game session. I'll talk a little bit more about it, and you'll actually get to see it played out at the end of this episode. So don't just skip on out at the end, but go ahead and listen to our first Geek Out after the credits. In other news, last week a listener brought it to my attention that they had had trouble downloading the past few episodes from a third-party podcatcher that they had been listening on. Thankfully, they also contacted the team that runs this app, and they were able to figure out exactly what happened, and they got it reset back up so they could continue listening to episodes. But if you listen to us on a third-party podcast catcher, the reason episodes might have been a little messed up was because I had to resubmit our RSS feed to iTunes. And the reason I had to do that was because iTunes had cached our old thumbnail and wouldn't update to our new thumbnail, the gorgeous artwork that we had, and it was a big technical mess. But I made sure that iTunes and Google Play would still keep working with our RSS feed, and I manually upload our episodes to YouTube. Those are the three places that I make sure and manage to see if everything is going okay. So if you listen to us on a third-party podcast catcher, I'm sorry if this messed you up at all. I definitely didn't intend it to. I really don't understand how third-party podcast catchers work. I don't know where they get our RSS feed from. But whatever you listen to us on, thank you for listening to us. I'm sorry if this messed up anyone. And if you haven't been able to download any episodes in a while, this was the only case I had heard of. But if you haven't had the opportunity to download any podcast files, let us know. Let the management team that runs that podcasting service know, and hopefully they'll get you all fixed up. And this might seem like a weird request, but if you listen to us, would you consider subscribing to us on YouTube? There's not a whole lot special there. It's just the audio files uploaded with our gorgeous artwork in the background. And you could go back a couple of years and watch these Google Hangout sessions when I played a Marvel Heroic game with my friends. But the reason that I asked that you subscribe on YouTube is just to show, support for the show. And, when people look on YouTube, they see, oh, wow, there's a lot of people that subscribe to this channel. So I know you might not listen on YouTube, but if you do listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, whatever you have, and you have a YouTube account, who doesn't have a YouTube account at this point? But, I just appreciate it if you went over there, subscribe to us on YouTube. Nothing too fancy. It would just help out the show a little bit. And speaking about helping out the show, there are a few ways that you can do that. You can leave us a review on iTunes. You can share us on your social media platforms. Or, if you are financially able, you can back us on Patreon, just like Nick Blankenship did. Nick, thank you so much. You seem like a cool dude. We've talked on more than one occasion. Not face-to-face, but, virtually. Thank you for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. And I hope that you get some Whataburger sometime soon. Yeehaw. All right, that's all out of me. Let's go ahead and get to the episode. It's going to be a good one.
All right, Esther, shake it off. You've got to get your head in this. You've got to focus on the task at hand. But all you can think about is the bar. What would Dad say? This is bad. Am I going to be able to come back from this? Not by myself. I know James is there helping, but something's not right with him. I don't know how I'm gonna... I don't even know I don't even know what I'm gonna do. What if I can't get the bar back? Then what? Just focus on the task at hand.
All right, so you are in the car. You still don't have Esther's SUV because it is in Bill's garage.
Why haven't we gotten that yet?
Because people will know it's us if we're in the SUV.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is
And it's
riddled with
shot up.
bullets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're going to need to buy a new one.
So I'd just like to recap. Esther doesn't have a bar, and Esther doesn't have an SUV. So y'all all suck.
But still doing great.
And she's still got this dog bite that won't heal. But it's fine. It's great.
Okay, well, if you're done throwing a tantrum, the rest of us are going to keep moving on.
I'm just reading all my injuries.
Why don't you read your injuries out loud for us?
Dog bite, glass shard, tweaked ankle, forearm cut, stomach cut, stabbed leg, scuffed up.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Esther's looking good.
Today, I actually feel like Esther because that trampoline park wrecked my body.
All right, so this episode opens up. We see the Oldsmobile parked out in the street. There is a... it's parked right underneath a street lamp, so this orange glow is kind of shining down on it. We see 4 shaded, shadowy figures inside the car. What are these 4 shadowy figures discussing or doing?
Oh, I didn't get that was us. And
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know. You tell us what they're doing.
Hint, it's you 4 in Bill's Oldsmobile. Oh my gosh. Wait for cinematic subtlety.
It's a Skylark.
You cannot change the make and model of your car for the 4th time.
It's actually part of my powers.
Oh, part of your mythos?
Yeah.
It's a ever-changing... You got the Willy Wonka van or whatever?
Yeah, my car is actually a tattoo on my forearm.
Oh, no, not the Willy Wonka van. The horse and buggy from the Emerald City. It changes colors. That could be a mythos. That'd be really cool. There you go, listeners. A free mythos for you.
Oh my gosh.
I said Emerald City.
I didn't have a song for that though, and I was already singing a song about Willy Wonka, so I needed to transition into a song about Emerald City. Sorry.
So anyways, you're sitting in the car. I guess I should describe, you are in the part of the city, the old part of the city. This is, when the city was first built, this is where, this is where it was built. You have your old, like New England type architecture, cobblestone walkways and roads. The roads aren't really paved here. It's just the old part of the city.
Okay, so how are we going to sneak into this place? Or are we just going to barge in like Ren does with pizza places?
The way I see it, we have a key. So one of us just goes up and acts like this is our room. When we have a key.
Do we know if this is a guys only halfway house or?
No comment.
We could go buy a pizza, and I could deliver it to him and try to get his name, because he hopefully didn't order a pizza.
Well,
because we have the room number.
but we have this key. So is anybody necessarily in there?
We would know.
Because if we have the key, they may not have come back to this place.
We could ding-dong ditch them, see if anyone comes out.
It's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, are there doorbells?
We could
Also knock,
ditch them.
Interesting.
Or is it knock, nick, knock, ditch them.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Knock, ditch them.
Anyways,
I don't understand what just happened.
okay, so is that what we're gonna go with?
I mean, it seems like the easiest solution, I suppose.
All right, Ren.
Why am I the one who does it?
It was your idea.
Because you suggested it.
Trying
Okay.
to give you more autonomy in the group. You got this.
Thanks, Faye.
Anytime.
So glad I can depend on you.
Mm-hmm.
So Ren's just like awkwardly opens the door and is like, well, I guess I'll just ditch them.
Okay, so Rin, you walk across the pretty much empty street. This is late in the night. There are, orange glowing street lights all down this cobblestone pathway. You walk across it, walk up some stone steps to this very narrow building that's nestled between two other very narrow buildings. You see a gold plate. It has Agathas engraved on it. And then you walk up to the door. There's no doorbell, but there is a knocker. And really?
You never know when it's going to strike.
Yeah, apparently. There's a knocker, and like the attachment for it is like a gargoyle head. So like normally you have like a lion's head, or sometimes you don't have anything there, but this is designed to look like a gargoyle's head. And then a little loop that hangs down around its face.
And just walks in the door.
Okay, so you walk into the door. There is a small room, some couches, plants, and things like that. You see a staircase leading up to a second story, but this seems like the lobby area. And as soon as you walk in, you hear like a bell tinkle. You kind of look around and you're like, where'd that
Pull
come
yourself
from?
together.
Come on, girl. What's wrong with you? But you hear this bell tinkle, and you look around and like there's nothing attached to the door or anything like that. You just hear this from somewhere off. And around a counter comes a small, squat, older-looking female. She has her hair tied up in a bun. She has very narrow eyes and these big glasses resting on her nose. And she looks up at you and says, "Can I help you?"
I'm just going to my room, that's all.
Here, a room you do not have. Are you perhaps misplaced?
No, I have my key right here. Just heading back to my room.
She reaches out a withered hand towards you. Your key, please.
No, my key is for my door, not you. Are you a door?
Who exactly are you, and where did you get that key?
Who are you? I'm just going to my room.
Of course. She folds her hand back. Your room. It's right up the stairs. You know the room number.
And so he just kind of like waddles up to the stairs and...
Okay. So you walk up the stairs. This is an old building, so it has all these old motifs of architecture, carpeted steps, gold banisters. But you walk up the flight of stairs and you see a long hallway of doors. They all have the number 1 on them. This is the first floor. They're all numbered by 100, like 101, 102, 103.
And I look at my key and it says 105.
It says 301, actually.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's 301.
And so I walk up the next 5 stairs until I
Okay.
get to...
So you walk up to
301.
200 and 300. And as you're walking up, you think this building was not big enough to have 3 floors. Like it maybe looked like a 2-story building at the best. But you keep walking up, and you have made it to the 300 block, as it were. of rooms. And it was 301, so it is the first door on your left.
All right, guys, I'm going in, I guess.
Do you have anything with which to talk to them?
No, I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk up to 301, you stick the key in, you turn it.
could have texted us.
Yeah, okay, you could have texted them.
And it just says, hey, guys, going to my room. And it's like a room with like 6 O's.
And guys with like 6 Z's.
Yeah.
Okay. So you stick it in, you turn it, you open the door. It's pitch black inside, but you step in, close the door behind you, and then all the lights come up, and you're standing outside of Agatha's house. You turn around, and the front entrance door is right behind you.
Can we see him?
Yeah, so you just see Ren walk out after he says, hey, guys, I'm going in. And then you see Ren open up the door and shut it behind him, and now he's standing on the front steps.
This isn't the room.
I could have told y'all he wasn't the one to send in.
We were trying to give him a chance. Esther.
he
We
actually
talked
under
about
the
this.
But he just walked outside.
While you're talking about this, we like have the camera on one side of the car, and so we see you all fighting inside the car. But then through the windows, we see Ren like looking up and around behind him, like at the door, like, huh? What? Huh?
So Ren just goes back through the door and then runs up the stairs to the 3rd floor again.
Okay, as you open the door and you run through, and that old lady is sitting by the counter and watches you run by. You go and up the 3 steps. You put the key in the lock again, turn it, open up the door, walk through. It's pitch black. You close the door behind you. The lights come on. You're standing outside Agatha's house.
What the?
Why does he keep going in and out of the front door?
I don't know.
Why is he out of breath?
Esther
And so he
rolls
just like
down the
he just like
window.
flips up his hands and is like, what?
Esther rolls down the window. Just get in the car.
You try going through that door.
What happened?
You see, I went inside, there's an old lady, and she said, you don't belong here. And I said, yeah, I do. I got a key. Don't I belong here? And so I ran all the way up the stairs to the 3rd floor, opened the door, went through, and then I was on the front porch. So I did it again, obviously, because maybe I did it wrong. So I went up the 3 flights of stairs again, opened the door, and then here I was.
Wait, you went up 3 flights of stairs?
Yes.
That building is only 2 stories tall.
I promise it was 3 flights.
How much under the influence are you right now?
I turned the program off, obviously.
Not much different.
I think we're missing something here.
Clearly.
Okay, so we obviously can't just go in and now talk to this old lady at the front because she knows that you're up to something.
She knows he's up to something.
Right, but she isn't going to think it's weird that 2 people come in looking for 301 in the same night?
She doesn't have to know what we're looking for when we go in.
She already knew that I didn't belong. She's clearly going to know that all 3 of you don't belong.
1, not all 3 of us are going to go in together. And 2, I'm not going to try to belong. I'm just going to try to talk to her.
Yeah, what if you talked to her and said you were looking for Smalls?
No, not that. But
okay.
I could try to be looking for a room myself.
So do you want to just walk in on your own? Do you want me or Bill to take you in and say, like, our friend needs a room?
Our friend needs a room.
I mean, we could
I
just.
guess.
I'm assuming this place is dedicated to whoever's staying here getting better, and we could be honest and let them know that one of their residents seems to be doing something less than desirable for someone who wants to be getting better, and see what she says.
We don't often try honesty here, so I'm just trying to adjust my brain to the idea.
Or we
Might
could go
just
in and
work.
shoot her.
Okay, no, you can't shoot an old lady.
Do you have a pacifist thing? Can we crack that?
There's nothing pacifist about me.
No, I should have made him take some pacifist thing, but yeah. He has nothing pacifist on his theme cards now.
Oh, shucks.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Okay, Bill. Give it a try.
Oh, God. All right.
That way, if we don't go, we can try that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you knock on the front door. You see the latch turn. It opens up. An old lady, very squat, hair tied up in a bun, little eyes, big glasses on her little nose, looks up at you.
Good evening. How may I help you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Such manners.
I was raised right, I think. I like to think. I know you all are probably dedicated to having the people who stay here get better.
What would give you that idea?
Well, it's a halfway house. You're trying to rehabilitate people to get back into society.
That's fair.
All right, well. One of your residents may be getting mixed up with the wrong people.
Oh no! What? Why would you think this?
Because we have video footage of him rummaging through the business of somebody who's gone missing, who has ties to the mob.
Oh, that is very disconcerting. You have this video with you.
Yeah, it's in my car, but do you really need to see it?
Well, I would need to know who exactly you're talking about.
I could tell you what room they stay in.
Please do.
Can I roll to see?
Like, you want to see how sincere she is?
Yeah.
You can maybe roll an investigate. Where are you adding to it?
Those lying eyes. It's part of my card dealer thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So a +1. What'd you roll?
8.
8. Okay. So you get one clue. What are you wanting to know about her?
Is she criminal?
Is she criminal? To you, she looks like an older lady. She doesn't have any like tattoos or anything that would make her look malicious. She's wearing like a nightgown. She doesn't seem like super physically active or physically imposing.
Not everything is what it seems in the city of Miss Davis.
It's true. And you do get kind of a strange vibe from her, but you're not necessarily sure if that means she's a criminal.
That was a really unhelpful answer.
Was that clues fuzzy, incomplete, or half true? Since you rolled a 7 to 9.
You're dead to me. I saw one die and it was a 6 and the other one was a 1. I was like, that's lame.
So what room was she in?
That's a really great question. But see, right now, I don't know that I have a reason to trust you, and it's a very sensitive task.
Okay.
And then the door just closes in front of you without her even touching it.
I stepped inside.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, then now you're standing on the front porch.
You can't just move me.
Something moved you.
Okay, I knock again.
Okay. The door opens. She's standing there.
May I help you?
Do you recall having a conversation with me?
Yes.
Do you recall putting me outside of your location?
Yes.
Why?
Because you said you didn't want to talk to me anymore?
That's not at all what I said.
Okay.
If I tell you the room number, will you tell me who's staying in it?
If you could give me proof that one of my tenants is up to no good, then maybe I would trust you.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The door closes, and once again, you're standing on the front porch. Because I would assume you stepped inside, but it's almost like this time bending thing. Like you see the door coming towards you, and you're like, oh no, it's going to hit me. But then as it closes, you find yourself standing like 2 feet back from where you were on the front porch. On the on the mat that says, "Blessed are all who enter this home."
You know, I could have just stepped outside on my own. Then I walk off. Ren,
Yes.
do you have the recording of the guy shuffling through Mr. Small's things?
You did not get it off of Mr. Small's computer.
Flashback.
And we flashback.
Okay, so you're gonna spend your flashback.
Good call. So sad.
So what happens in this flashback? We see sepia tones. You're back in the office that you were in like not but 30 minutes ago. What are you doing, Ren?
Ren's plugging a USB drive up to the computer and just downloading just everything off of it. All the records that we don't really know what they are, but we're just downloading them anyways, just to understand what Mr. Smalls was doing exactly, including the video of the person breaking in.
Okay, so you go ahead and get 1 juice, and you can spend that juice to create a story tag, like a criminal footage 1 story tag. Okay, the flashback ends. We're back in the car.
All right, so I've got the footage. Let's just show this weird, crazy old lady the footage, and maybe we can actually get to the room and not end up on the front porch yet again.
Okay, Bill, it's all you.
We can continue with your all's plan of trying to get a room.
I mean, they could still do that if this doesn't work.
Yeah, go ahead.
All
All
right,
right, Bill.
email it to me.
Okay, so he boots it over to your phone or whatever.
Thanks, Big Hero 6. That was great.
He's so impressed with
pat on
himself.
the back.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the boodaloo sound.
Oh, okay. The door opens up. You see the old lady standing there. This time she has a mortar in one hand and a pestle in the other. And she's just like grinding something together. Oh, hello again.
All right, before we get started, this time I'm going to walk out the front door. Do not warp me out.
So are you walking in or are you walking out?
I'm walking in now.
Oh, okay, welcome.
All right. I've got 2 tickets. No,
The door shuts on you.
I've got the footage right here on my phone. Would you like to see it?
Please do. She leans in, watches it.
And I pause it on the person. You recognize this person?
Not very well. I can't see his face. He's wearing a hoodie.
Well, he dropped something while he was here.
Uh-huh.
It was a key.
Ah.
It said room 301.
So you're talking about the key that man brought in earlier.
Yes, don't mind my acquaintance.
You can have all 3 of your friends come in. I mean, I've been watching you through the window for quite some time now.
What window?
That one. You see a window that's perfectly open and looking at the car. And then if you step outside and look, there's like no window there.
All right. I text them. Come in. She knows you're here.
I go in.
Yeah, we all like shuffle out of the car.
She just seen us. Bill. or Rand. Bill. No.
What?
Well,
He
like,
sees-
she's just watching
she's,
all
like,
of us
watching
go
y'all, like,
back
run
and
back
forth.
and
like she
forth.
knows that all 4 of us are there, and we're just sitting here thinking we're being slick. I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
So all 4 of you walk in. She closes the door behind you. Please make yourself at home. There's comfortable couches, I assure you. Whenever you like some tea.
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sure. I'll take some tea. What do you got?
You won't.
Jasmine, blueberry, black, old English, breakfast, sweet.
Jasmine sounds good.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm not much of a tea drinker.
I'm only taking 1 trip.
Nope.
Okay. And she walks back behind the counter, and she's gone for a little bit. What do y'all do?
Well, that was a complete fail.
Well, if you would have asked for some tea, she would be back there even longer, and we could snoop around.
She's gonna poison you.
I do absolutely nothing because I don't want to end up on the front porch again. And I advise we all do. Well, I advise we all do the same.
Faye leans very closely to Esther. Do you think she knows Lisa? She seems like a Lisa type, doesn't she?
Not all elderly people know each other, Faye.
Who's Lisa?
You literally couldn't hear it because I just said that Faye and Esther lean close together.
What are y'all mumbling about?
Nothing. We just were conspiring against the two of you.
Makes sense.
So glad we're a team, though,
Yeah.
as you conspire against us.
What's all this conspiring? And you've been watching the counter, but you see she walks up from behind you through a completely other door. So she just Scooby-Doo's it, and she walks up, and she hands you a nice little china teacup. And then she goes to a rocking chair and, like, pulls herself up into it.
Now, what can I help you for kids with?
What? We just
Yes.
went through this. I just showed you the video.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So, one of you had a key.
Yes, I do. And he hands or shows her the key.
Bill grabs the key before. Would you like to see the key, or do you need the key?
And she, like, smiles very impishly.
I would like to see the key.
Bill holds up the room number.
She adjusts her glasses. 301.
Oh, yes. That's Lynn's room. He's a good boy, very good boy.
Lynn, Lynn, what?
We don't do last names here. It's just Lynn.
He broke into a real estate office.
Yes. He was a good boy, but he had his problems, just like everyone here does.
May we visit with him?
You're not going to hurt him, are you? This is a safe place.
No, we'll leave this one in the
No.
car. Just kidding.
We would not hurt him.
Rainey here is a pacifist. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Most flies.
All flies.
Few of my good friends are flies.
As you're
she
talking, you
serious?
hear like this dum 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 heavy thudding coming down the stairs, and you turn and you see like this giant hulk of a man. There are scales all across his body. He looks more crocodile than man. He looks over and he says,
"Hey, Agatha, I'm going out." Okay, take your coat with you.
and he reaches over to this coat rack, takes it, wraps around his shoulders. Almost immediately, like the scales fade away and he resembles just a normal human. He opens the door, walks out.
Good boy. Wayne is his name. Anyways, Lynn, you're not going to hurt him?
No.
We have no plans.
Everything will be civil?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the
Good.
goal.
Because this is a safe place for people who don't fit in with the rest of the city. People that are outcast, as you could say.
Can I roll and investigate and see if I notice if any of us seem like our powers seem stronger? Not stronger, but like more visible?
Sure. You wouldn't. Let's see. I don't think you would even have to roll for that. Yeah, maybe. So maybe more of your mythos is poking through as you're sitting here. So kind of describe like how is your mythos manifesting itself like more visibly while you're sitting here?
I noticed that my ring is like, well, I start to feel heat on my finger, and I realize that like my ring is starting to like glow brighter, and so I'm like inconspicuously like turning it around so that instead of the owl facing the outside, it's like on the
So you're
inside
turning
of
it to
my
the inside of your
palm.
palm. Okay.
And like closing my palm around it.
Okay. Faye, what about you?
I think going back to the time with the monster alien thing, you're seeing like kind of a back and forth where the dress that Faye's wearing today is like it'll look normal, but then it like kind of holographic, where if you look at it a certain way, it suddenly looks like a similar dress to what she was wearing. That and like same with flower crown, like it's not there, but then if you like catch the right light, you see like a light flower crown on her head.
Okay. Ren, what about you?
I would say that the like head implants are, I don't want to say radiating, but they're like glowing this like deep blue.
Okay.
And you can kind of just, it's not making any sounds, but you can just like feel this energy in the room.
Okay. So your implants are like more visible than they usually are. Okay.
And you can, there's just like this surge of power, I guess, electrical power that's just like in the room.
Okay. And Bill, what about you?
I'll say that there's like a black mist kind of emanating from my tattoos, and it creates like a dark aura around me. Like it's not like it's going all the way to the ceiling, but it's just kind of like pulling off of me a little bit.
So Faye, you take the time to like after seeing Wayne walk out and her mentioning that, you look around, you see these things.
At this point, Esther is, as the ring is glowing brighter and everything, she becomes suddenly aware of everyone around, like more aware of everyone around her. And I'm wanting to make a roll to see surface thoughts of the team as well as the old lady.
Okay. Go ahead and roll and investigate.
Okay.
You should get a bonus for having the ring, right?
Yeah, she gets the surface thoughts tag. So it's a +1.
And my injured status wouldn't affect this.
Because this has nothing to do with like
really
physical
bad
activity.
at remembering the injured status subtraction. Anyways. 5.
5? Yeah. So you try to reach out and focus, but all you can feel is static. You're having a hard time, one, focusing because you see all these things around you, but maybe something else is manipulating your ring or messing with its frequency, as it were.
If I were to discreetly like put my hands behind my back and turn the ring around to the front, could I make another investigate check, or is that not?
No, not for right now.
So, will we get to talk to Lynn soon?
I mean, you can go to his room. I trust you. I can see maybe you four are more than you appear to be, but I have dealt with many people that are more than they seem to be, and I do trust that no harm will come to Rin. The stairs are not Rin. Lynn.
I was like, I went to a different place.
I didn't make that promise.
I am going to kill Rin later.
I was like, dang.
No, I meant Lynn. I totally do not know any of your names.
Well, we appreciate that.
Okay.
And you're not going to put us out on the porch?
As long as you have nothing malicious. Intent.
Yeah, Bill.
All right, let's go.
Thank
Okay.
you, Agatha.
Oh, you're welcome. May I have that D-cup back?
And he's like, drank all of it, and he's like, I guess so. And hands it back to her.
She takes it, and then she walks out the door that she appeared out of just a minute ago.
That was going up the stairs.
Okay, then you go up the stairs. You go up the stairs to the 3rd floor. Room 301 is on the left. There's no answer.
All right, I guess we're going in.
Still no answer. a door behind you opens up, and it's like this this rat. I mean, it's just a rat creature with like a robe thrown over its shoulders.
That's what I was thinking.
Just, hey, we're trying to sleep in here. What are you doing?
Sorry, you seen Len?
No. And the door shuts.
What a helpful guy.
He seemed really nice. He had that very charismatic glow about him that you have, Bill.
Maybe we should just try to peek open the door.
I mean, yeah, we got the
Or we
key.
could just go in because we have the key and no one answered the door.
Well, but I think we should be respectful so that maybe we have a chance of getting into the room instead of being on the front porch again.
All right. Ladies first, please.
Esther takes the key from Bill
Yeah, Bill's the one who had it last.
and puts it in the lock and turns it and opens the door slowly.
Okay. Like, are you peeking in as you open it, or are you just opening it slowly and, like, taking it all in as you open it? Like, how are you opening the door? Sneakily or just opening it slowly and respectfully?
Slowly and respectfully.
Okay, so you slowly open the door. The lights are turned off. It's not pitch black in here as it was when Ren kept running in and out. So you can see like faint outlines of like a bed, a dresser, a closet. It looks like a normal room, but all the lights are turned off.
Len, are you here?
No answer.
Is there a light switch anywhere within reach?
Yeah, you can reach right inside and flip the switch.
I reach right inside and flip the switch.
Okay, you flip the switch on, the lights come on. You can make out more of the details. The bed is a little messy. There's some like clothes and things thrown around, personal effects laid out everywhere. But you do not see like a shape in the bed or someone hiding in the closet or something like that.
I step inside and move far enough in to allow the others to follow behind.
Okay, you all step into the room.
I'm going to say that Ren turns on his, scanner vision to
Okay.
see if there's anything out of the ordinary, I guess, in the room or hidden.
Sure, you can roll and investigate. If everyone wants to snoop around, you can all roll investigate checks and then use your clues for different things.
Okay.
So, Ren, you're adding your scanner goggles? Mm-hmm. Okay, so +1 for you.
9.
9? Okay, so you get 1 clue. Go ahead and remember that you have 1 clue.
Okay.
11.
An 11? Okay, so you get, how many tags did you add? None? Okay, so you get 1 clue as well. But it won't be fuzzy or incomplete.
I got a 7 with one thing.
Okay, 1. And what about you, Esther?
I think I got a 6, but I'm
You
assuming.
think you did?
Well, I want to add investigative, but I also want to add life lessons because I feel like I was trained, like in my training with my dad, I feel like I kind of picture it like psych, like he trained me, like he would do like those tests, like so that I pick up on things. You know what I mean?
So would that bump it up to a 7?
No, that's a 6.
So that would be a 6. Okay, so you're searching around, lifting up things. So the three of you, what clues do you want to spin?
So distracted by my bar right now.
Yeah. You're kind of like half-heartedly like picking through things. You're thinking about James. You're thinking about the bar. How long is it going to get going? Why is James acting so weird?
Mm-hmm.
Player knowledge real quick. I feel like you should ask him Mr. Small's question because he can't give you a half-truth.
But like, even if I ask a Mr. Small's question, it has to be related to this room.
Yes.
That's what makes it
Right.
difficult.
But anything that would connect or give like information to Mr. Smalls or something.
Or you could say
Also,
like
I
what's
don't have
missing.
any freaking tags for investigate.
For investigate?
Yeah,
Huh.
I should.
I
Have
guess
at
when
least
you
one.
lose the golden flamingo, you can
Not gonna
have it investigate.
work there all my life. Not really. Okay.
Bren's gonna be wondering if there's anything missing from the room.
Okay, so your question is anything missing. I mean, obviously, there's nobody here, but look around. Oh, man. So is anything missing from this room?
Lynn.
Yeah, I mean, the person who lives here is missing. I'm trying to give you a better clue than that. Besides Lynn, nothing seems to be missing. Things are a little chaotic and spread out. So it's hard to tell, what was here, what isn't here now, especially since you've never been here before.
I can't see exactly, but it doesn't seem like anything's missing right now.
Okay.
Or that Lynn took anything with him.
I want to see if I can tell.
Well, okay, hold on. So, you see, okay, so is anything missing? You check, his side table drawer, his wallet's gone, his keys are gone. You can't find a phone, a keys, or a wallet anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That
Faye.
helped answer one of the questions I was considering. I want to see if there is either a picture that I can see where I would be able to tell if that was the right height for the guy in the video, or the hoodie from the video, or something that would confirm that he was the person from the video and not just a random key.
Yeah. Actually, you find a ton of pictures. On the wall next to the side table drawer are all of these Polaroids just thumbtacked or taped to the wall in this haphazard pattern. And you look, and on each of these Polaroids is written a name or date in Sharpie. You see one that says Beach, 2001, Barbara, 2006. All these dates and names and things on all of these pictures. And you see a few that say me, age 21, me, age 12. It's just a normal looking guy, kind of shaggy hair. And you can see him in a couple of these photos with a couple of these different people.
Does he seem to be the same height?
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing all these different clothes and stuff, and the jacket was kind of baggy. You could assume that this is the same build or whatever, but it's hard to tell because some of these photos are from years ago.
So what exactly was my clue that you gave me?
You find a lot of pictures with a lot of names and dates written on them.
Okay.
A few of them have me, and then a few of those pictures with the same guy in it, it says me, and in parentheses, Lynn, next to it.
Okay.
So what is your
So-
question, Bill?
I don't have a question. I'm going to look at what Faye pointed out. Look at these pictures I found, because she found the pictures.
Uh-huh.
And this is an
That is a good
investigative
question.
question.
You're so quiet.
This isn't an investigative question. This is not my question.
Okay,
I will
so you're not
reiterate,
spinning your clue on
This
this.
is not my clue.
Okay.
This is me asking you.
Okay.
Some of them say me, Lynn. Do some of them say me, something else?
No. Yeah. They all say either me or me parentheses Lynn, or me parentheses Lynn plus Margaret or somebody else.
Gotcha. Do I recognize it? This isn't a clue?
You're not spinning your clue. From now on, we'll just assume you will say this is my clue whenever you want me to give you.
Do
a
I
clue.
recognize any of the people in these pictures from the pictures at Jimmy the Butcher's?
Oh, good question. No. If you can't think of a clue right now, you can bank that clue and then spend it later, but it has to be related to what you found here.
Did you have a clue you wanted to ask about?
She doesn't have any. You kind of look over at Esther, and she's just kind of half-heartedly picking up clothes and looking underneath and throwing them over. Very
Throws a hoodie my way.
very sloppily looking through things.
Do we want to wait here and see if he comes back, or what do y'all think?
I don't think waiting here would be the best idea. I think he'll feel.
Ambushed.
Yep.
Do you want to go back to the lobby?
I guess I just feel like we're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, but if the GM wanted to progress the game, he would have given us something or done something in order for us to move along.
If you want to just say, like, give me a clue, I can give you a clue.
Sure, give us the clue.
You kick around a little more, see if you can find any last details. You open up the closet, and you see a varying wardrobe. You see suits, dresses, clothes that are very big, clothes that are very small. You see all these different outfits and clothes arranged in this closet. None of them seem to be the same size or style. And I'll even say that since this is Bill's plus 10 clue, each tag has a date written on it, like the tag on the collar or whatever.
Are they chronological or just random?
No, they're not chronological. They're just
Is it all
randomly spaced
menswear?
down. No.
Their dresses. So, Len can be multiple people? Is Len Mr. Smalls? Or Len has a personality disorder? Hashtag counseling grad school.
Well, if he was Mr. Smalls, he wouldn't be breaking into Mr. Smalls' business.
Unless he was Mr. Small and he forgot something.
But then if he could become Mr. Smalls, why would he need to break in?
I mean, he wasn't necessarily breaking in. He was just climbing in through the hole in the wall. Like
And
we
as
did.
you're saying this, you hear this squeak, and you turn around, you see the window being lifted up, and you see a figure with a hoodie lean in and look up. You can't see all of its features because his face is kind of shadowy, but he sees all of you and immediately darts out the window and jumps down the fire escape.
Ren sprints after him.
You all take a... Well... No. Give me one of the status cards, and he has a Head Start 3 status.
Jeez.
And if you want to catch him, you'll have to, like, target that status and reduce it.
How does that work?
Basically, you just roll, and it's like reducing... It's like reducing a tag, like how you heal tags. You get 1 juice. Now I can spend that juice to reduce my tag. Or I could step it up and reduce it by 2 steps. So basically, you're just targeting this like you would a fight, almost. You're just trying to build it up to 3.
So, if I wanted to do, say I wanted to do a convince, and I want to use my react before it happens, so before he starts running, I want to, like, tell him, like, we're just here to talk, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
So I'm gonna use my react before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's really it.
Hey.
And do I have to subtract anything?
No.
Okay.
Because you're just trying to convince him to, like, hold on, wait a second.
9.
He hesitates for a second, and so that will step that Head Start 3 status by 2, but he still leaps down and keeps running.
I want to catch him with a vine.
Okay.
Is it like... Okay, I'm going to try to use a tag that you're probably going to say no to, but I'm going to try anyways. So, plant growth, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The more the merrier, because there's grass and things.
There's not really any grass here.
And then tracking, because he's, like, running, and I want my vines to be able to find him.
If you were trying to find him, right now you can just see him, so you're, like, whipping these vines out. But if he had gone missing and you were tracking him down,
I knew you were gonna say no. Okay. The more the merrier. No.
Okay.
Plant growth.
Okay.
Please. 10.
Okay. So what move is this?
Change the game?
Change the game? Okay. So on a 10 plus, you get 2 juice. What do you want to use that 2 juice on?
Okay, so make a story tag, right? I'm still confused.
You
on change the
could.
games.
So, I would say reduce his status because right now he has his Head Start 2 status.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of that narratively because how I was picturing it was that I like send out my vines and like catch him.
You catch him, yeah.
So I could reduce the status by 2, which would take it away, right?
Yeah.
So when the vines like wrap around him and
So
catch him?
you would give or reduce the status 1 point per juice, and then if you picked it again, you would spend that other juice to reduce the status by another step. Okay. Yeah. So Esther calls out to him, and he hesitates just ever so slightly, but that is enough time for Faye to conjure up these vines that come up out of the alleyway and wrap around him as he is leaping down to the ground. He's just caught in these vines, and you see him like struggling and trying to escape.
Len, stop struggling.
No, please, no, please,
I promise, we're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna hurt you. Guys, will you please help me pull him up to his room nicely?
So Ren grabs one arm, and I'm assuming Bill grabs the other arm.
Well, is he?
Well, I think he's on a
the
vine.
vines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could like grow the vines like up to the window or whatever.
Okay. I don't know if I was gonna have to roll for that.
You could. You caught him.
Okay, cool. So I pull him up, and then y'all help me pull him into the window.
He's still very shaky. Like, please.
I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. It's done.
You don't want what? What's wrong?
And as you pull him in, the first thing you notice is like how pale his hands are. But then as you look at them, you notice like some of his fingers are fused together. And you see like these blue veins creeping out beneath his skin. He's very, very hesitant, like lifting up his hands, like, please. You still can't see his face.
So Faye's gonna guide him over to his bed and sit him down. And does he have any tea
Any tea?
in his room?
No, you don't see like a tea set or tea or
And no
anything.
plants or anything that I could work from.
Yeah, no plants. He has a fridge, but like no plants or anything like that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get like a bottle of water out of the fridge.
Okay.
And like bring it to him and be like, here, drink this. It's okay. Like just
Okay.
take a deep breath. We're not gonna hurt you.
And as he like takes the cup or the bottle, you can kind of see his features for the first time, or rather the lack thereof. Like his nose is sunken into his face. He doesn't have any lips. He has more of like a slit of a mouth. His eyes are like these huge black expanses. He almost looks alien-like, but he barely has any features on his face. And as he pulls back his hood, you see like he's missing ears. He has no hair. He's this freak, basically.
Oh, dude, what happened to you?
Please. He sent you. I know he did. He sent you, but I don't want it anymore.
Who do you think sent us?
Here.
He like reaches under his bed and he pulls out this shoebox and he opens it up and there's just wads of cash inside. Here. I don't want it. He just shakes it all out on the floor.
Can we make a pact that no one touches the money until we find out what's going on with this kid? Lynn,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Lynn, slow down. What are you talking about? We're not here to hurt you, man.
He sent you. The man with the scary mask and the hood
And he like makes this snap noise.
and the thing.
The wolf mask?
No, not a wolf mask. He was scary teeth and I can't.
No one sent us.
He didn't send you?
No.
Who? Who are you?
We're just friends. Go with it.
And you see, it's hard to tell because his face is so expressionless. Like, you almost see, like, his forehead crease, and he's like, Do I know you? And he turns and looks over his shoulder at, like, all the Polaroids, and you can see his eyes looking at all the pictures.
No, you don't know us yet. Well, I guess right now you do. But before, about 30 seconds ago, no, you didn't know us.
But we could be good friends of yours if you just work with us.
His friends? What did I... Who... What are you doing here?
So, like, Ren pulls up his phone, he shows him the footage, and he's like, we were investigating Mr. Smalls, and we found this.
See, you are sent by him. He told me to do this and the thing, and now you're here because you know it.
Slow down, dude.
Mr. Smalls has a scary mask, face, teeth, what?
No, the scary face teeth man asked me to do that.
Ask you to do what?
The break into Mr. Smalls?
I look.
And he, like, who's closest to him?
I would say Ren is.
Okay, so he touches Ren's clothes. Then all of a sudden you see his features start to morph. His fingers become separated. His very pale skin becomes dark. He has the scars on his head. His clothes don't change. But you see him transform himself into Ren.
He wanted me to do this for him.
And he points at the phone with the picture of the office.
For Mr. Smalls, the man who runs that office.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Mr. Smalls?
No. But the creepy face man wanted me to be Mr. Smalls, then go to the lawyer's office and sign away the deed to a White House.
To a white, not the White House, a White House.
No, yeah, a White House.
Did you do that?
He kind of looks very sunken for a second, and it's Ren's face, so Ren looks very sad.
Yeah. I did, and he gave me,
and he motions at the floor.
This.
It's okay, we all do things sometimes when we're desperate.
Yeah.
What did the man in the mask do to you?
He just was here, and he told me to do this, and he said he would give me the money, and he did.
Have you done anything else for him?
No, this is the first time, and not again.
So, you haven't met Mr. Smalls, but you were still able to turn into Mr. Smalls?
Yeah, because I can...
And he puts his hands on Esther, and then Ren fades away. Or no, on Faye. He puts his hands on Faye, and Ren fades away, and then it is Esther. Faye, golly. He turns into Faye.
He says, I don't have to meet somebody. I just have to
Touch their clothes.
feel them.
Okay. So, did the scary man ever tell you why he wanted you to sign all of that stuff?
No, he didn't. He didn't say that. Most times when people want me to be somebody else, I mean, sometimes they'll tell me, but I mean, they don't a lot.
People often ask you to be someone else?
Before, yeah.
Before what?
Before I... Forgetting.
Before you started forgetting everything?
Yeah.
That's why you have the picture, so you can remember everything.
Yeah.
And he, like, looks over.
That's how I used to look.
When did you start forgetting?
whenever I knew I could do this, I started to, and I would use it to get things and trick people. But I started to...
Lose yourself?
Yeah. I can't really remember me.
And he looks over at the photographs.
Lynn.
Faye,
Esther makes a side glance at Faye.
and Faye is like, Esther can tell. I don't know if the guys can, but naturally, because Esther spent so much time with Faye at this point, is like internally breaking. Like, is just so distraught about it, and like eyebrows furrowed, just trying to figure out like how to help.
And it's hard to tell how old he is. He sounds young. I mean, looking at some of his pictures, you're like, okay, he looks like 20 there. But like, how old is he now? Or, was that even his original face?
Right.
Lynn, where were you tonight?
I was scared. He knows me. He knows where I am. I didn't want him to ask me to do anything again. So I ran, but I lost.
And he's like feeling his pockets and his hoodie. And
my key.
You mean
I can't remember.
Bill. Like Faye says it really quietly. Do you have the key?
Jessica.
You have the key.
I have the key.
Do you have the key?
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
I have the key.
Will you give it back to him, please?
Esther hands him the key.
Oh, that's it.
and he like takes it.
I got it. That's his. I knew I left it. I knew I forgot it.
And he like just sticks it back in his pocket, just all loose leaf or whatever.
I'll remember. It's right here.
Lynn, how did you get in contact with the scary face man?
He was there. Here. Right there.
He like points where Bill's standing.
How did you let him know when the job was done?
He just knew. He gave me this money, and he was gonna give it to me later once he knew it was done. But I didn't want to see him again, so I didn't come back.
Well, then, we're here for you. We just want to help you. We're investigating everything that's going on, and it seems like you're mixed up in some pretty bad stuff.
Yeah. I think my mom told me not to. But I can't remember.
Well, walk us through anything else that you've left out that you do remember.
I can't. I know.
And he goes over to his sock drawer and he pulls out a journal. And you see it has like all these tabs in it. And you see that the tabs are dates, and he starts flipping through it.
Says this one. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. He came. I was sleeping. I heard a loud noise. I woke up and he was there. He asked me,
And he's like reading all of this.
he told me he wanted me to go to this address, and he wanted me to be this person. I needed to go to the DA's office and talk to Deacon Smith and sign away the deeds to 123 Blanco Street. It was white. That's the White House. And so I did that. And I got a bad feeling in my stomach. I didn't really know what to do, so I've just been hiding out on the streets, and I couldn't remember where I left my thing, and I didn't have my journal to see what the address was, so I couldn't go find it again.
Well, thank you, Lynn. That's actually rewinding. Thank you, Lynn. That was actually very helpful.
Thanks. I keep this so I won't forget. I have a lot of these.
Lynn, are you safe here?
Yes.
Well, you said that he appeared here. The guy in the scary mask.
Yeah, he knows.
Do you need a place to stay?
No, this is my home.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone else have anything they want to ask Lynn?
Here's my contact information in case you need something. Why don't you go ahead and put it in your phone just in case?
Ren Pascal. He looks at you. Thanks, Ren. Hey, hold on. And he like goes over to his thing and he takes out this camera. He says, "Guy."
Sure. And Ren cracks just like a half smile.
Yeah. And so he clicks a picture. Thanks. So Ren, I'll write it down. He like goes and grabs his Sharpie and he like puts it behind his ear, which is still Faye's ear. He's like, yeah, I'll remember.
Okay, Lynn. Well, feel free to reach out if you ever need help again.
Sure.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya. So you walk downstairs. What are y'all saying?
I don't think Faye's saying anything.
Esther's just sticking by Faye.
Okay.
So what's the plan now? We know that some weird, scary guy in a mask shows up and makes him do business as if he's Mr. Smalls.
Let's just get to the car.
Okay. You walk
Okay.
past Agatha still sitting in the rocking chair.
Have a nice night, everyone. You're welcome back anytime.
Thanks. What, are you just not going to say anything to this old woman?
Me and Agatha have a nice knowing nod towards each other. Agatha knows all.
So you walk down the steps and go and get in your car and close the car doors.
So what's the plan, Faye?
I don't know. I want to know what Bill's thinking and Esther because neither of them have said anything for the last 6 minutes.
Way longer than that.
And we've just been doing all the talking.
No, we're not criticizing them. We're just asking what's happening in their brains.
What name did you give us?
Declan.
Not Declan.
Deacon.
Deacon.
Deacon. Who's Declan?
Declan is Jaime's old character from the starter set.
Gotta erase that from my brain.
No, don't erase it from memory. It's a good time.
Smith. We've Faye and Esther, yes?
It was
For sure Faye. Maybe Faye and
It was
Ren?
Faye and Ren because Bill and Esther went to 123 Blanco Street and Bill messed up those dudes that were throwing people's furniture out.
Right. Yeah. Me and Ren have worked with him before, and he knows this other guy, Muhammad, that Esther and I worked with. He's actually quite connected. We really should have talked to him probably about 20 episodes ago.
Episode 6.
To the DA's office.
I think it's
Esther's just been
Yeah, it's
really
like-
distracted through this whole thing. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it is after midnight at this point.
And
To the
it
DA's
is-
office tomorrow.
It is a Friday or it is a weekday? Other weekday.
I can't remember.
really bad at keeping up with the day.
Oh wait, no, it was Monday. So like this is Tuesday night because
Okay.
y'all had a week before the gala, or not the gala, but like the debate.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so you're like, let's take care of this right now. So that next night, Tuesday night. So it's like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
So we all get back in the car, and Esther drives back to Faye's apartment.
So Esther drives off, screen in the Oldsmobile, and then the camera pans up to this window, and we go through it, and we see Lynn's room, and the Polaroid printer, or the Polaroid picture comes out, and he like shakes it, and he takes a little thumbtack, he sticks it in the wall, and you see him writing something on a Sharpie, and everybody describe like what your character looks like in the Polaroid picture.
He didn't take a picture of me.
Okay, so like
He just took a picture of Ren.
Oh, he was like taking a picture of everybody.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm fine.
If you didn't want to stay in the picture, like we could see like Bill's shoulder, like on the like right out of frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about everybody else?
You see Ren just like sitting in a chair, just like smiling, and I feel like everyone else is just doing their own thing. Or no?
I literally was with you that whole time working with him.
Esther just has like a thoughtful, far off look in the picture.
Okay, so like you're like looking down or like up or very pensive look.
Pensive look.
Okay.
Faye has the like trying to smile, but like extreme pity and sadness look.
Okay. So it's kind of this morose picture, and he writes, "Me, Lynn, plus Rin, plus friends." And he draws an equal sign. He draws a little happy face.
Yeah, I'll remember this.
End of episode. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Mistconceptions. Our next episode will be released on May 21st. If you're a fan of the show, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And while you're on those two social media platforms, why don't you share us? Use the hashtag Mistconceptions, tweet at us, all that good stuff. Let your friends know what you're listening to and that you enjoy us. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com, and while you're there, you can use our discount code MistConceptionsFan, all one word, all lowercase, to get $5 off a purchase of the core rulebook. And you should totally get the core rulebook because it's awesome. The music you heard at the beginning of this episode, and we'll hear here in a little bit, was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his work at aaronwharton.net. And that's all for today's episode of Misconceptions. Well, maybe not quite. Don't forget to stick around for the geek out during the credit session that we're about to have. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you back here next time. Keep it nerdy, y'all. Alright, this is our first Geek Out during the credits. I don't want to call it a session because we just recorded a session. But it's a Geek Out during the credits cinematic move. This is a new move in the core rules. And it talks about, you are supposed to think about this like the episode of a TV show. So the episode has just ended. Now the characters, or rather the players, talk about what happened in that session. And since this is our first Geek Out during the credits, we're going to go back a little ways to when the crew first split. So this will be going back to when Faye and Esther were doing their thing in the forest, and Bill and Ren were doing their thing at the pizzeria, but also including everything that just happened with Lynn. But basically what you do is you go around the table and you answer some questions. You answer one of three questions. So the first question is, how has the crew grown this session? So that is, how have you as a team come together? How have you come apart? But this will recover a burnt crew power tag, or you can mark an attention in the crew theme. The second question is, which character has had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? And by answering that, they could have had a good impact on you or a negative impact on you. It's just, which character had the most impact on your character's story this session? And then you can reward them help and hurt points as in per requested. And then the last question you can answer is, which of these themes, or which of your themes, is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? So if you have a theme that's under a lot of strain, this would be good because it will help you start planning what theme is going to replace that theme when it eventually dissolves from your persona. So I'm going to turn it over to the players, to geek out during the credits.
You want to go first, Carrie?
Sure. So I'm gonna answer which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character in this session. And thinking back all the way to when we were in the forest, Faye and I. I think Faye and Esther have had like the most connection throughout all of this. We're starting to be able to have this like non-verbal conversations and things like that. We're practically living together at this point. So yeah, I mean, I think that they've got even more of a connection now than they did before, especially since they went on their own and had the conversations with Lisa in the forest.
Okay, so in this time you've grown closer together?
Right.
Okay, so then you're saying that your relationship she's had a beneficial impact on you. Okay.
Right.
So then you get a help point for Faye. So I think your help points for Faye should be at +2.
Yes.
And something to point out is that help and hurt points act like juice. You have a certain amount of juice. So now Esther has 2 help points on Faye. And so per session, Esther can use up to 2 juice, just like if she rolled a successful change the game, to create a story tag, burn a power tag or story tag, or give a reduce a status specifically to Faye. Your hurt points do not cancel out your help points. So if you had 1 help point and 1 hurt point, it wouldn't cancel out. So you wouldn't have like 0 points. You would just say, I am good at helping this person. I'm also good at talking them down out of bad situations or something. Because help is when you want to help somebody. And even hurt points, even though it sounds negative, sometimes hurting someone or hindering someone is going to keep them from doing something disastrous for yourself, themselves, or like the entire crew.
So on those 2 points, like for the session, like I have 2 total that I can use
So
each session, or like
session,
once I've used the 2, then they're gone.
Yeah, so each session. So for us, that's every time we sit down to record. For listeners at home, that is your game night, is your session.
And then you would like start over the next time.
Yep.
You would
And
have
the next time we
again.
recorded, it would reset, and you would have 2 again.
So is there any way that you lose those? Like lose it completely?
I do not think so. I can look that up. And if anybody knows that, they can message me. But I mean, by this point, I'll probably have looked it up already. So I'm not sure, but I'll look it up.
Well, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing. So, dang it.
Well, I mean, I think that's accurate for our characters, though.
It is pretty accurate. I'm trying to think too of like all the things that have happened.
Because it's been a
Since
lot.
then. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I think just to change things up, because Carrie already did the like Faye and Esther thing. I think I'm gonna do the how has the crew grown this session, and think back to when like Bill and Ren also stayed at Faye's place, especially when Bill was like really, really wasted. It was good times. And like besides Ren being his typical annoying self, like you could tell the crew was kind of getting into a rhythm together. Like we were like making breakfast, and Esther and Faye were definitely the closest and all that, but just kind of learning each other's ticks a lot better, which I think is going to help us a lot more. So that's how the crew has grown. So I mark an attention on the conspiracy busters thing, which we literally never use.
Yeah. So we're gaining something and something we never use. But conspiracy busters, go ahead and read like what your crew identity is. So this is like your creed as a team that you all agreed to like pursue.
Cool. Finding out the truth is more important than our personal issues. We do a terrible job at that.
Yeah. 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 So go ahead and mark a attention in that.
Cool.
We have had to put all of our stuff aside, though, and like
We
go
have,
on these
yeah.
things.
Yeah. And that is why some people are getting cracks in their logos, things like that, because like they're putting the crew and like what you're trying to figure out as the crew in the foremost, most important part.
Cool.
So who's next?
I guess I'll go. So is this for our last couple missions?
This is y'all at the pizzeria, and this is also the investigation involving Lynn.
Okay. Don't judge, because I was thinking of geeking out after credits for this current mission.
She was not laughing at you.
We've said it a lot.
Right.
That it was the whole
Like
long way
20
back.
times. But I also was laughing hysterically at Jaime petting your beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was where I was.
I mean, my beard is pretty luscious.
I mean, you
It's
use
looking
beard
pretty good.
oil,
It's
so.
looking
Yeah.
pretty good.
There you go.
Tea tree.
Everybody just get a everybody just get a pet of
Tea tree
Zach's
man.
beard.
Yeah. I would honestly say that like Bill and I, as sassy and as confrontational as we are, we have grown. Because we're just like always going back and forth, but it's always positive. Like it's like we're being mean, but we're growing closer as a group.
So it's jovial joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it sounds mean, but like we really are getting along and
Okay.
becoming closer.
And whether Bill reciprocates this or not,
Ren
this is Ren's perception
This is Ren's perception
of
yeah.
how everything is going.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say it's helpful, so you would get a help point on Bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
How many do you have on Bill now? Is that your first one for Bill?
Second one.
Really? Okay.
For help?
Yeah.
Wow.
Phase -1 though.
What? When did I get -1?
Whenever we did our character recreation session, we were on the table
Why did
and
you
it was
give me
like,
-1?
how do you feel about everybody? And you and him were both like, yeah, our characters don't get along.
That's true.
So you
Yeah,
actually
that's
have
true.
a -1 on Ren as well.
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Okay, so +1 juice or +1 help for Ren to Bill. And then Bill, what about you?
So things don't seem to be going well at the Golden Flamingo. And it's in danger of collapsing, my logos.
Mm.
But that's a tough thing because of Jeremiah and the power he holds over me with my family. But I don't know. We'll just have to see kind of where the game takes us. I think if it were to collapse,
Mhm.
Being a enforcer or a collector of souls.
Mhm.
Oh, people don't know that in game, so that's fine. For Jeremiah and all of the investigative work we've been doing has made me think that if I need a source of income in the future, I might consider being a private eye if I can't deal cards anymore.
So the way losing a logos works is whenever you lose a logos, you gain a mythos, and vice versa for mythos to logos. So like, if you lost this part of your logos, what new aspect of your mythos might come forward? So it wouldn't be you replacing one job or one like routine with another routine card. It would be that you are leaving your mundane life behind and your mythos is calling you to fulfill whatever its mission is.
We might have to pivot
Pivot.
because apparently Mayans believe that they could imbibe some of the characteristics of a god by tattooing their features onto their body.
Mm-hmm.
But a Kot would just be the god over those tattoos. So if I
Keep going.
so if there's like a warrior god, then that would make sense for the tattoos that I have already. And if there's another Mayan god, then they could go in this slot. It would be a matter of finding out who they are. Because the god himself, like you said, he's the one who steadies the hand. But like,
But so like your mythos is a cot, and so that's why you can like manipulate your tattoos and stuff. But yeah, like you said, maybe some of your tattoos begin to take the shapes of different like animals in Aztec culture or different even gods of Aztec culture, because the Mayan and Aztec like religion wasn't inclusive. It was like, I worship a god only. It was no, he was a god of this and there was a god of that. So like maybe through a cot you could begin to tap into the other Mayan mythos.
I was even thinking maybe it transforms into being more spiritual. And so, like, taking, like, the Mayan mythos, but, like, being more spiritual, and so these animals, like, he becomes these animals or something.
Oh,
or the tattoos
so he has
become
like a shapeshift ability.
maybe a shapeshift ability, or maybe like a bear comes out of him and like attacks someone. And so like the tattoos can like morph into like a spirit animal or something, basically.
Yeah.
I'm using Gukumats.
What is that?
Gukumats was a god of the 4 elements of fire, earth, air, and water, and each element was associated with a divine animal or plant. Air is vulture, earth is maize or corn, fire is a lizard, and water is fish. That could work with tattoos.
Yeah. But we've already established. So actually what we can do is later on in the game, you can accrue these points, and once you get to a certain point level, you get a moment of evolution. And one of those moment of evolutions can be that your mythos completely changes. So right now it's a cot, but maybe as you keep going and getting these moments of evolution points, you could replace a cot and then do.
Why would I
another
replace the
thing.
cot if we just established that Mayan gods aren't exclusive?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that you wanted to like
No.
get. Okay. So how would that manifest itself?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
That's
in
true.
the story. I need
Okay,
more time.
that's fine. But so we have an idea, and this isn't so the what if your theme collapses? What happens? It isn't like we have to figure out what happens right now.
Oh, okay.
But this answer that we're going to write on his flip side, or that he's going to write on his flip side theme card, will help him decide on specifics later.
It's just a thought.
Yeah, it's
that
just
may
like
be
the
the
thought.
direction
Yeah,
that you're gonna go with.
yeah. So if you lose the golden flamingo,
It would.
What?
If I lose a golden flamingo, it would be because a cot was calling me to not work for him, but work towards his ends and his goals.
mm-hmm.
And in order to assist in those ends and those goals, he's going to introduce me to another Mayan god.
Okay,
Cool.
so underneath your flip side comment, so like flip it over and whatever that card is, and it should have a flip side down at the bottom, I think.
Yep.
Okay, and so what did you just say? You worded it really well. Introduce you to other Mayan gods or whatever.
Good thing we recorded it.
Yes. Listeners can just go back and listen to it. I cannot right now. Okay. So that was our first geek out during the credits. We'll have one of these the next time we record.
End of Geek Out.
Yeah, end of geek out.